Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge it, knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
Woo! You heard the man, ladies and gentlemen. It is Topic Thunder. And here we are, setting sail from the deck of the lovely, scenic, but very functional USS Rapapa. My name's Brooks. That's Ben. It is Topic Thunder. If you're joining us, well, you're joining us via the world's most dangerous chat zone. We call that the Thunderdome. It'll soon be populating with VIPs, very important parents, and other dignitaries, and they become the lifeblood of this particular podcast show thing that we do.
Yeah.
So, what Ben and I fashion ourselves as is info tenders, and as people enter the Internet Saloon here, as we cleverly call it, we pour conversation for everybody. And there's Aunt Chris already talking about dignitaries entering the Thunderdome. We have a lively show provided to you guys without the bitchings of the upper high class, super like high rise living folk who don't have power or anything. We have all systems go.
Yes, despite the fact that there is a natural disaster literally at our back door here in Texas. Not sure if you're familiar with, there's some wildfires here in Texas, and it's so close that you could smell the smoke when you walk outside of my house right now, and all day today you've been able to smell the smoke. It's quite close. It's within an hour's drive of my house are these wildfires, and I guess Adrian was just telling me before we went on the air, it's now the second largest wildfire in Texas history. Is going on right now here in the northern part of Texas, lower part of Oklahoma. So, but we're fine here in Lubbock. No, other than wind and dust and campfire smell. Nothing to really worry about.
I mean, as long as I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did see something like that. I guess it just kind of like glazed by, like it didn't register.
Sure.
Or like to even add.
It's because we have so many of them these days, Brooks. Because that's normal.
But Ryan Hansen, a friend of the show, and stand by for the lightning round, because Ryan Hansen provides a certain like remix of the headlines we provide. Indeed. Which is, kind of the...
We also provide stories along the way, and I think there's one that he actually provided us that's in the lineup this week. We may or may not get to it.
Ryan Hansen hit a sweet spot today with a story.
I know, he did. He pandered a little bit to the hosts in this one. I've got a story to go along with that one, too, so let's not miss that story this week.
We will not skip that story whatsoever. And also, Tipton Moscow sent a story in, too, so...
See, okay, Brooks, it's not just me. There is something with your mic. Because before we went on the air, I could only hear Brooks in my left ear, which I thought was normal, but I thought was maybe something on my end. So there does seem to be something amiss with your mic settings. So,
oh no!
We probably should have figured. I thought maybe it was just a me problem, but clearly it is not. So we have to pull back the curtain, as we like to do every once in a while.
When I'm involved, it's always a me problem.
Yes. So I don't know if you want to check your settings of what. It sounds like maybe your mic is going through the camera and not the microphone. Maybe.
Son of a. No, actually, wait, hold on. It's actually set for...
In the meantime, I'll give you 31 seconds to kill some time.
The clock is on, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually showing that it's my bearings here.
Interesting.
I can take it real quick. Hang on.
I'm trying. I'm killing time here, buddy. Hello.
Is this
Same
better?
situation. No, it's the same situation.
God damn
So
I don't know
you're
what
just
to
gonna
tell.
have to like. I just have to listen in a little bit closer to him, I guess.
it. Gonna have to. I'll get.
How about
closer
those bears?
I'll get closer to the microphone. Don't call Steve. Oh, compare me to Steve Dahl. She's triggering. She's trying to trigger me. She's trying to trigger me. All right, does this sound better for the meantime?
It sounds more loud, but it's still just in my one ear, so I don't really know. But whatever.
Right.
Hey, we will charge ahead. But yes, Ma Jordan says it does sound better. So there you
Okay,
go.
as long as it sounds better. Hey, let's have a drink because we need to have one.
Yes,
given
clearly.
everything, and this is Cold Time from our good friends at Revolution, one of the actual oldest independent, I guess what we would call an independent brewery at this point here in Chicago. I've been an idiot, and I don't usually like pour the beer in a glass. Again, because I'm an idiot. But here you are with Revolution Cold Time. I've never had before. They call this a premium lager. Premium lager. Has that nice golden haze. And we're about to find out what it tastes like. And Antihero is a legendary beer. But here we go with Cold Time.
Is a clean, flavorful premium lager brewed for the moment. We can reward ourselves with an ice cold beer made with pure water from the Great Lakes,
Pure
Midwest
water.
two-row barley, Mexican lager yeast, and a touch of German hops before it is brewed low and slow, then mellowed in our tanks for 4 weeks. There you go.
I gotta tell you,
Yeah?
this is a damn fine beer, man.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Because we've only seen, we know you are a harsh critic. We talked about this last week. You are not an easy critic when it comes. So now we gotta have you taste it again. We gotta hear the Brooks Bolts. We gotta have a Brooks Bolts out of 5. Where do you rate this? We've only had 1 5, I think, ever when it comes to Brooks Bolts.
I'm gonna
We've had a 4.5 or 2, I believe.
I'm gonna hold off
Wait.
on this because this is. Oh yeah, I know. Now I'm not.
What?
Yeah.
Did you just break the rules? Like
I might because this is. I'm not kidding. This is really delicious.
it could, yeah. Okay, let me ask you: is the debate between 5 and 4, or 4 and 4.5?
It's 5 and 4.5, and only because I want to make sure, like when I deliver a 5,
That you're absolutely certain that you could stand by that. Yes.
all right. I'm gonna call in not a second opinion.
Does it have the this taste? Because she's not going to like it if it has that
this.
taste.
It's not this. It
Okay.
really isn't. So,
All right. Well, then
if we could bring her in.
yeah, we have to have
Gigi.
a impartial.
This is I think was it last summer or 2 summers ago where I was like chasing that summer beer flavor.
Yeah.
That taste of a summer
Yeah.
beer. All right, Gigi is in the room right now. She's off camera, and she just took a sip, and she's like, I like that.
Oh, okay.
We have a thumbs up.
Thumbs
from
up.
Gigi,
Okay, which is
I-
she's also a very tough critic. She's not really a beer person, and then she doesn't like this taste of the beer. So yes, that to get her to give a thumbs up is impressive. It's almost more impressive than getting 5 Brooks Bolts.
Wait, hold on. Wait, baby. What? Hold on. You get it.
Got it.
You get
Okay.
it. Okay,
I heard what she said. She is a beer person. She just doesn't like that kind of beer.
Which means she's not a beer person. Let's just. This beer is a 5, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
5 Brooks Bolts for everybody listening that are of age.
Wow.
That are of age. This is a fantastic beverage. Like,
Yeah,
holy
young Aaron,
shit.
you're not allowed. If you're out there listening, sorry. You gotta wait.
I am actually really happy I have a 6-pack of that, because that is fantastic. Folks,
I guarantee. It sounds to me like that won't be the last time that Cold Time makes an appearance in the drink section.
this is a patio pounder.
A patio pounder. Look at the alliteration.
That just means that at 4.8 percent alcohol by volume.
It is, yes.
It's you could get. Look, I think Budweiser is 5.1. Right, and
Okay.
if we're counting that kind of stuff, I'll take this over that any day of the week.
Sure. And you can
Oh
drink
my
more
God.
of this without getting as drunk.
Well, I mean, not by much, but you're technically correct, sir.
It just means you can drink more Cold Times.
And I think you should. I think we all should. With the odd exception of the minors in the room. And we
Yes.
all want to. We advocate for responsible alcohol use and drug use. That's our policy here. Responsible use. That's all. This is a story that we wanted to talk about. Last week we ran out of time because of
Yeah, we were very
whatever.
Russia-centric last week, so we couldn't squeeze this in.
Yeah,
It didn't
so,
really fit.
We're going to dedicate some time to this for a couple of different reasons. And, if you're not familiar with it, this is an increasingly difficult story to track for some odd reason.
It is weird, right?
Yeah. So this is a Yahoo News link because one of our most trusted sources, the Independent, the UK Independent website and link that I had originally saved, was no longer valid. And Ben and I both agreed that a simple search of this topic was not very fruitful. You had to be very specific, and we had to get dated material, such as a story from 8 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll continue to talk about this. So, folks, this is going to be one of those topics that when Ben and I promise you that we're going to pour conversation, we kind of mean it. And we welcome everybody into the saloon, whether you're on Facebook or Twitch or YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
Hey, just do us a favor really quick before we awkwardly get into this next difficult topic to talk about. Just smash that like button for us really quick. Whatever you're doing, just hit whatever you're viewing is on, just click it and
Yeah,
here
hooks
we go.
up.
In Oklahoma, the death of a transgender student after they were assaulted in a school bathroom has sparked widespread outrage and sorrow. Next Benedict, they were a sophomore at Owasso High School. They were brutally beaten by other students earlier this month and died the following day. The incident has drawn national attention,
Quote unquote, kind of, sort
right?
of.
But that got quickly buried.
Yes.
Parentheses. And many attribute the violent act to a culture of transphobia that they say is stoked by state officials.
Mm-hmm.
The assault on Benedict, 16, happened on February 7 when 3 older girls attacked them in a girls' bathroom. Tulsa NBC affiliate KJRH.
KJRH.
There's
reports.
no way to say that word, like rolls, like
No.
You're listening to the KJRH. Right, it's just this KJR. Not to
What is this? What,
a teacher intervened to stop the fight, and she didn't call. Staff didn't call an ambulance. The outlet noted. This is
God damn it.
Do we have to? I mean, if you don't know, allegedly 3 girls beat to death, although the person died the next day. A transgender person in the girls' bathroom. It was kind of, as best they could, swept under the rug. However, in this situation, you cannot escape the publicity of such a heinous act. And everybody's going to go back to, well, why? Right? And why this particular attack at this particular school in Oklahoma? And I might be getting a little squirrely on it, but the folks at Oklahoma, I think it's NBC4 affiliate.
Yeah, Oklahoma. Yeah, News 4. They have a story that kind of gives us an idea of.
I thank you, NBC4, whatever.
More on the tragic death of an Owasso high school student. The Oklahoma State Board of Education met today, and 16-year-old Nex Benedict was top of mind as a number of people showed up to address the board. News 4's Amaya Ward has more.
Losing a student is always extremely difficult, and we should be keeping the Owasso families, communities in our prayers.
Opening comments from State Superintendent Ryan Walters regarding 16-year-old Nex Benedict, a non-binary sophomore in Owasso who died the day after allegedly getting into a fight with 3 female students in a high school bathroom.
It's a heartbreaking tragedy.
Walters says the incident has sparked a discussion on enhancing the safety and security of kids moving forward, but some in attendance say he shares the blame.
You emboldened these 3 girls yourself. You have actual blood on your hands.
Some pointed to Walters' decision to enforce students to use the bathrooms according to their gender at birth, among other initiatives.
These children who attacked Nex had to be taught to hate.
It's already difficult to be in high school. It's very difficult to be different. But when somebody's attacked for being different, you are liable.
Walters didn't respond to any specific comments from those who urged him to change his tone and message moving forward.
Nex Benedict was failed. How many more trans, non-binary, LGBTQ students will be bullied or killed?
In Oklahoma City, Amaya Ward, Oklahoma's News 4.
Walters also said once the investigation is complete, the board will focus on ways to improve security and safety for children going forward.
Oh, I bet.
More on the tragic death of an...
Oops. So you saw that guy, that community activist that they talked about in that clip there, the older gentleman. There was 2 older gentlemen. The guy that was in a suit jacket. I think his name was Sean Howe. I actually happened to see earlier this week the full video of his full speech from that school board meeting. And it's worth hearing the whole speech because, as you can see, the clips that they pulled for that news story are pretty fiery, right? He gets after them, but it's worth listening to the whole context because he really lays to bear what the blame that is at the feet of these people on this school board.
Or inability to do anything as a board here are partially responsible for emboldening bullies to jump a girl in the bathroom. 3 older girls don't just jump a 16-year-old in the bathroom for no apparent reason, especially when they're of the alphabet community, who you personally have attacked ever since you ran for office. And you brought in the chief attacker of this, Chaya Rychak. Okay? It's on you. You remember when I said the blood's on you guys and everything? I think what you're looking at now is a federal lawsuit for each one of you personally, and I hope it happens because it'll bankrupt you. And I hope it happens for you, Ryan, because you're money-oriented, and I hope it bankrupts you as well. There is legal culpability here. No Title IX was followed. Teacher didn't turn it in. Principal didn't turn it in. Is it mandatory reporting? Is that what it's called? Mandatory? Give me a nod. If you're on the school board, you should know. Is it mandatory reporting for somebody to report a hate crime? Is it mandatory? Did I not tell you this was going to happen? Yet here I am again, and I'm sure when I leave, your Chaya Rychak chick will tweet my stuff out again and I'll get more death threats. That's who you brought into the room. You emboldened these 3 girls yourself. Chaya Rychak emboldened these 3 girls by being on the library board. It's already difficult to be in high school. It's very difficult to be different. But when somebody's attacked for being different, this isn't even about the death part. That's coming next, and we'll see who gets charged and how many families lose their children to prison. You are liable. You. So what are you going to do about it down the line? Literally, what are you going to do to change your behavior? It was real nice that you said thoughts and prayers for everybody at the beginning. You brought it on. Did Chaya Rychek do something in that school against an alphabet-friendly teacher? And she ended up getting so many threats she quit? Yet you still brought her on, and within a month, magically, something happened. You have no deniability here. It is a pattern. Forrest Gump could see this pattern. You don't deserve that. You have actual blood on your hands. No matter how sincere you probably practiced it in the mirror to look sincere today. Look, you and worthless ass Chaya Rychek, literally blood on your hands, and everybody that still sits at this table shouldn't have shown up today and done some kind of a protest to show you're not okay with this. Get a backbone. Literally, it's embarrassing. I am humiliated and embarrassed for every one of you that showed up today. Shame on you, man. And as I told you, sooner or later, you're going to get a parent who comes after you and yours. That's the way this works. Keep it up.
Booyah. I mean, that you can't. The thing that's I think important to point out there, and that he points out, is the Chaya Rychek stuff. Stop.
If you're not familiar with who Chaya Rychek is, she is the originator. I'm not sure the entire content provider for the libs of TikTok.
Yes, because she's a person who's become extremely influential in the far right Christian censorship movement of the United States.
Fascist.
Yes, very fascist. And yes, so
flavored TikTok.
It's not.
She specifically, let's be clear, she's also specifically attacked school boards and school board and education.
She's on the library board of that school.
She has an assignment, and the assignment, once that particular brand took off, was education.
They were coming after. They're going after all these PTAs, these parent-teacher associations, and these school boards. These crazy fucking right wingers. It's easy pickings because nobody pays attention to those elections.
They're burning books.
Yeah,
because of this particular libs of TikTok platform.
You can't tell me, Brooks, that these things are not connected. This Chaya Rychek gets this teacher at this very same school who was pro-transgender, or at least tolerant of transgenders, so attacked that they quit. Then the school board puts her on the library board to screen what books should and shouldn't be put into the library of that school. And then at that school, a non-binary student gets attacked in the girls' bathroom, beaten to a point of death. The dots you don't need to even be smart to be able to connect the dots here, Brooks.
If 3 people weren't hitting this person would not have died.
Simple as that. And the reason that she was getting hit is because she was different. I'm adjusting.
Into the story, there are accounts of Nex's head being routinely smashed against the tile floor.
Yeah, it wasn't for any other reason than that they were different.
This isn't even hazing.
No.
All right, because you gave me a wedgie or God forbid a swirly, because that's even one of the most demeaning things ever. Any type of hazing, and
this all stems from this crazy thing that a segment of society has for worrying about where people use the bathroom.
Yep. What did Nex want to do?
She just wanted to use the They wanted to just use the bathroom
themselves. They just
this idea that transgender and non-binary people are looking to touch someone or assault someone or
Change.
the last thing that they want is confrontation in that situation.
Want to use the
They are as uncomfortable as anyone else.
More so.
Exactly. And the great part is that these people that are so weirded out by this have very likely shared public bathrooms with transgender people and had no idea. None whatsoever. There's this weird idea that transgender and non-binary people are pedophiles and that they're all in the same
Who
group.
pushes that?
It's all people like Chaya Rychek push this nonsense that they're all in the same group. Like it's one step away from pedophilia to be a homosexual. Like that's truly what these fucking weirdos think.
It's such a weird biblical take when all of the evidence points to positions of authority being the most likely to engage in sexual priority. I'm losing my.
Listen,
verbiage.
same-sex relationships have been part of human nature.
Oh, I'm saying, just look at pastors, right?
Yeah.
Look at the number of pastors who have been not only accused but proven to be guilty of sexual assault, right?
Right.
Like, look at the number of
coaches, high school, coaches and sports coaches.
Huge number
Yes,
of them.
both on male and female sides.
Show us where it's the drag queens. Show us where it's the transgender folk. Show us where it's anyone on the alphabet.
Yeah.
In that regard,
and it's born out of this weird fear that they're going to assault your daughter in a public bathroom. Well, they just want to pee. They just want to pee. That's all they want to do. Get in and get out of there with no confrontation. That's all that they want. Because every time they go into a public bathroom, they're in fear of exactly this situation. And it's happening in high school now. It's so sad.
Now, more so now, because now everybody's watching as to who gets punished for this.
This guy points it out. I hope the school board gets held accountable. I hope her parents, I hope some lawyer out there has the balls to step up and defend that family and hold those school board members legally accountable. Man, that would be fantastic.
And
that's sad too. It's happening in elementary, which is just fucking nauseating.
Look, I got bullied in high school. I'm not saying I got beat to death, obviously,
right?
But like it wasn't pleasant. I don't have fond memories of high school.
Of course not.
Right. So if the level of bullying that I experienced has escalated to the point of murder, we actually all are culpable on this one, because we're the ones putting people in positions, whether we're voting for them or not voting at all, or voting.
I'm telling you, man, there's an invasion happening on school boards and parent-teacher associations across this country. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what is going to happen because of this infiltration of fucking crazy people wanting to control education for students of all students, not just their own students and children, but all students and children.
And it goes beyond even that, because the bad guys are relying on all of us to be like, oh, most everybody else are going to make the right decisions and vote the sane people in. And we're kind of absconding our responsibility.
We're kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit in a sense, yeah.
The children we profess and the grandchildren we profess to love. And that's what we're doing. And hey, not to tie this into anything, but there may be some weird parallels and certainly a level of bullying that we can certainly speak to. Last week, we, of course, covered the tragic death
Yes.
of Alexei Navalny, who we have covered multiple times on this show, the Russian opposition leader, poisoned twice. He came back to Russia to become a martyr, basically.
Whoa. Hold on. Aunt Chris dropping a bomb there right before we switched topics. That's crazy what she's saying there, guys. If you're seeing that in the comments, even the kids I teach are into hate speech because that shit is on TikTok. And my black and brown students think swastikas are cool. What the fuck? Oh my God, dude. That combined with what Adrian tells me about, what she sees, man, this next generation, I don't know what to fucking make of it, man. I don't know what to make of these guys at all. They're a lost cause in a lot of ways, man. This next generation.
No, and we can never and should never think of that.
I know. It's not. I know.
No, never, ever. I don't care.
But
I will go to my grave.
I think it's a lot of. Don't get me wrong. It's mostly parents of these kids. The generation between the generation, their parents don't give a shit about what happens to their kids.
Don't know enough to give.
Aren't interested, and when brought to their attention that their student is their child is underperforming, they literally don't give a fuck.
That's what this type of economy and this like hyper capitalistic model of an economic enterprise that this nation proudly touts kind of provides to us. It's not,
our education system is just a precursor for
workers,
entering into capitalism as a worker.
Workers and know enough to be able to read some instructions and know when to put the press down and put the press up or whatever it is. Right?
Or I'll help fix that press. Right. We need those people too. So learning, and the extra smart ones can learn how to fix that press, while the ones that aren't as smart can learn how to use that press.
And the level of authoritarian control that has been entering this country based basically on a populace, and I'm blaming the populace, that includes me, that blindly vote for teams or blindly follow people based on, well, this is how my dad voted or this is how my parents, my family's always been this, is where we get to the situation where they've basically pitted ourselves against each other by like, well, you believe in this, which is a nebulous thing that changes all the time, or you believe in this, which is a nebulous thing that changes all the time. The most important thing is we call you red and we call you blue, and you guys, we tell you that you don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
Is that is the crux of this? Is it not?
Sure. It is.
My fellow Americans.
Yeah, when you break it down that way, for sure. Aunt Chris, again, I think we're going down this rabbit hole, and I think it's worth having this discussion because there is some tentacles that come off of this. She says that TikTok is educating kids, and I think that is both correct and frightening. But also,
TikTok.
It is a Chinese, if I remember correctly, it's a Chinese application that is run by the Chinese government. And if you were conspiracy minded, you would say that TikTok is set up purposely the way that Aunt Chris is seeing it and the way the kids in America are seeing it. It is set up purposely the algorithm is set up to feed Americans a certain narrative and a certain echo chamber, while Chinese children, their TikTok is very different. It's also very limited. It's also very censored, but at the same time, it is also educational, and it is meant as a learning tool. What it is actually meant for, yes, it is a government sponsored narrative, but I understand that, but still, the idea is that they are sabotaging the children of America, the next generation of America. They're purposefully sabotaging that generation through
I dare
TikTok.
say sabotaged.
Yes, or have already sabotaged this next generation and future generations. And so that leads you down the path of, well, should we do something about that? Should we censor TikTok? Should we not allow TikTok? Should we ban TikTok? And then that's a slippery slope if you start going down that fucking hill. And so but it is a real thing. I don't think it's a conspiracy, to be honest with you. I think they're very out in the open. They're not the Chinese government has not hidden it, that yes, we are serving Americans slop and serving our own people filet mignon, and we're hoping that our generation grows up smarter and better because we're feeding them filet mignon and not slop every day.
I guess it kind of depends on how you view everything. Like, Ben, have you ever played like a game like a 4X or a 2X strategy game where you have to plot ahead and look like Civilization or
I used to back in the day, but not as much recently.
So you can develop your military, and that's where your society goes, right? You can develop your education, that's where your society goes. And this is kind of a hybrid warfare that we're not entirely knowing of or comfortable with, or, to be honest with you, have had our own tactics turned against us, that they are literally shifting where our society is pointing towards, because they understand how to influence the common folk with this. And that's kind of where it is right now, that we are subject to this type of attack. We are subject to the belief that somehow, like, we're different. Like, I've actually lost my complete train of thought, to be honest with you, Ben.
No, that's cool. We can, but it was worth the detour a little bit. The Navalny thing, I think we kind of hit on that. I don't know if there's more there.
We don't need to do that anymore.
I am interested in this next story though, because there's some stuff that branches off of this that I'm also interested in talking about.
Go for it, because there was a really weird moment, couple of minutes during a speech that former President Trump gave, counting black voters. Okay. All right. This is remarks from former president, right?
This is fucking good. This lead paragraph is fucking amazing. Between this and the sneakers.
Former President Donald Trump has been courting black voters, but has also drawn controversy by racially charged sentiments by suggesting that he has strengthened his appeal to the black American by claiming they relate to his multiple indictments.
Unbelievable that he said that out loud.
He literally said, they're going to like me because I'm a criminal.
And then he went out and then he made sneakers.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother grift, right?
Some guys spent $9,000 on autographed Trump sneakers. And I bet you that same guy would tell you that the economy is in shambles and he's struggling and he's never had it worse under Biden, and Biden has ruined the economy. But that motherfucker can afford $9,000 autographed Donald Trump shoes.
Sold for $399 in pre-order status.
Yeah.
These shoes are basically Temu high tops bought for $8, spray painted gold, and somebody slapped a really cheap Chinese made American flag on some of them. Again, most of these orders are 3.
Did you see the clip of the guy on Fox News? I shared it on my social media on Facebook this week. The guy on Fox News that was trying to sell the sneaker thing as Trump relating to the black community on a level that he, and his exact words, which cracked Adrian up, were no president has related to people on a culture level the way that Donald Trump has.
Well, okay, let me give you a quote from Deontay Johnson, who's the president of the Black Conservative Federation. Quote, Black Americans are waking up to the reality that the Democratic Party has taken advantage of them, and the media and the party are terrified. Our community supports the policies of President Donald J. Trump. Sorry, I can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And knows full well life was better 4 years ago under his administration. Oh, you mean when the police were getting away with murdering people like George Floyd?
Oh, you mean like when the government just told everyone to quit their job and file for unemployment?
Or people were told to ingest bleach and that the ultraviolet light shine down their throat.
How about horse dewormer?
Have
a little bit of that to kill the COVID. Don't take the vaccine, though. Take the horse dewormer.
Highly encourage everybody to take a look at some of those videos that we all thought were a serious person. Anyway, whatever. Again, back to Deontay Johnson, she of the Black Conservative Federation. No amount of media deception or liberal race baiting will sway the minds of black voters and will cast their ballots this November for safer streets, better financial well-being, and a secure border, and a complete rejection of Joe Biden's disastrous tenure. Joe Biden is now responsible for the highest ever Dow Jones average and the most incredible economic recovery of all time. Anyway, I don't want to get I don't want to disagree with Deontay Johnson, but this is absurd that life was better for anybody other than affluential white Americans and the Saudis during the presidential reign of
listen, I get it. Grocery prices have gone up. Gas prices have gone up. Insurance prices have gone up. Repair prices have gone up. The price of everything has gone up under Joe Biden's watch, so to speak.
Brian Hanson's right.
But what you have to understand is that it has also not been as bad as it has been elsewhere in the world, and it hasn't been nearly as bad as everyone predicted it was going to be.
And the metrics show that the responsibility for those inflated prices you either pay at the pump, at the grocery store, or wherever else aren't the responsibility or blame of the president. They're the responsibility of greedy corporations.
100%.
Imagine that.
The market makers. That's what it's always been about.
Stock buybacks from Boeing had nothing to do with.
Dude, the stock buyback thing is the biggest scam. History will look back at the fallout of COVID and the story of COVID, and the money that was given to corporations and businesses that was then turned
loans, oh my God,
to when down the road, when it is investigated properly by people that are impartial and actually give a shit about looking into what actually went down. Democrats and Republicans are both culpable in the nonsense that happened in the fallout of COVID, and allowing it to happen and not holding corporations responsible. But history will look back and say that free money, our money, was given to these corporations with the intent, the goodwill, if you will, of, hey, you're going to pay your labor forces with this money. They did not do that. They paid themselves, and they paid stockholders and shareholders and investors with that money.
Take the money and run.
That is not and never was the intention of what that money was meant for. The PPP loans were absolutely abused. You want to talk about welfare being abused by people? We talked about this last week where, how people have this misconception about people that are actually on government assistance. And it's mostly elderly and single mothers, right? And now there's this narrative that there's these welfare queens that just have more babies so they can collect more welfare, and they don't
Living
work.
palatially.
And they just live in these mansions off of the
Eating
government
lobster
teat.
and steak all
Yes,
the time.
absolutely, right? That narrative actually exists. It's just not with the welfare queens. It's not with the mothers that are living in squalor, trying to make it, living paycheck to paycheck. It's not those people that are abusing the welfare system. It's the richest. It's the people that don't need it. They took that money and they just made themselves richer, and then they saw the opportunity to say, well, cost of goods went up, so we have to raise our prices, because remember when we couldn't ship stuff for that like 2 months? Well, that screwed up everything, and now we can't get it back to the way that it was. It's no different than what they found a way to push the bar up, and now they're just going to keep the bar here. And then the next time they'll just push the bar up a little bit more. And then they'll make that the new norm. And then they'll just keep pushing the bar until there's only so much more they can do, to be perfectly honest with you. The disparity is such at this point that I don't know how much more room there is to create more distance, but you get what I'm saying here.
Yeah, there's little difference in their minds between what should be the rich and entitled and the poor worker class that is meant to toil until death.
I don't get it. Where did this come from? Where did this mindset come from?
In medieval times and before that, there was always the fiefdoms and serfs and lords and kings and queens and people of owned land, but in order to own the land, you need to work the land, and I'm going to take 80% of what you make, but you get 20%, and you should be grateful for your 20%, because that is your payment for doing 80% of the work on my land.
Yeah, we do have to understand that we are the product of a social experiment that happened a few hundred years ago with basically cast-offs from Europe. Right, these people, the idea that the first settlers of the United States, that these were the smartest and best that Europe had to offer is not a correct narrative. These people were England was happy to let those people die on that boat, going on this voyage. There was no guarantee that they were going to find anything or get to the other side. Like, they weren't sending their children. Kings and queens weren't moving themselves over to this new land, right? They were sending people that they were okay with never coming back to settle in this. And we are the product of that social experiment set up by these, what we assume were smart people, because we always say, well, the founding fathers, we look at the founding fathers as if they were these godlike creatures, like it was Hercules and Zeus that came and settled in America, and that they're all powerful gods, and that they set these rules for us, and this is the way that society. No, these people were fucking criminals and fucking looking to take advantage of people and opportunity to line their own pockets. That is it.
They were extremists. The people they literally got kicked out.
Yes.
Neither the Pinta and the Centuria were people like, oh yeah, you think it should be this way? That's too extreme for us, which is insane, because at the time England was extremely beyond what we think is conservative.
Right.
Right. They were like, you're too conservative for us. Get on these boats. We are not sure they are going to go anywhere other to your drowning
Good
death.
fucking luck to you, but you can't stay here anymore with your nonsense.
But get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
We're gonna
Those
name
are our
this-
founding fathers, ladies and gentlemen.
And we can celebrate all we want that they said, we the people of the United States, and they brought us this democratic form of government. And we never talk about the fact that they brought the same economic fucking model here and just threw democracy and freedom on top of the same
and change the measurements.
method of slavery, the same economic method of slavery on us, and just said, okay, well, all right, we'll toil with the Civil War, and we'll toil with the Revolutionary War, and you guys can do the same. But we never go back and go, what is this driving? It's not driving freedom.
No,
We
it's
should be-
always been about making rich men richer. Always.
The power lies. Just look over the power lies beyond the speaking heads. And I get it that Biden's wearing sunglasses on talk show. He's a fucking politician.
Right.
And it's getting now into the season. And he's an older man. And he only has so much energy. But they're, again, I think we've talked on the show wisely. They are saving the fight for when it really matters. Throwing jabs early in what's surely to be a knockdown, drag-out, 12-round fight serves a purpose. Throwing your haymakers and your uppercuts in the early rounds tells your strategy. And what would Mike Tyson be like versus Muhammad Ali is what you're looking at here, right? The guy who's going to go all out in the beginning of the match, or the guy who's going to try to dodge and weave and absorb as much as they can and to wear the opponent out until their message or attack strategy starts to lose their edge or attention, and then they counterattack. I think it's kind of brilliant, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just to be honest with you. But yeah.
Speaking of democracy.
Well, if you weren't aware, CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Committee, which has been usually widely attended. Actually, we've covered the CPAC before because, if you recall, they had the Nazi symbols on their walkway and in their
on accident.
How did we accidentally stumbled across this hate symbol? And if you're not familiar with Jack Posobiec,
he's a real asshole.
Oh, this is let's put it like
he's
this.
about as far right as you can get.
If this guy showed up to date your daughter or son, I hope you would be like, nope.
Yeah.
All right, welcome. I just wanted to say, welcome to the end of democracy. We're here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here.
What is
we'll
that?
Replace it with this right here.
Amen.
What is that? What is that? That was the white power symbol, right? That's what I saw there at the end. What was the white power like almost like a Nazi salute almost there, right? I didn't see that.
In a vacuum, somebody might be able to defend our friend Jack. Given his social media history, there is no way.
Dude's an open Nazi.
That dude. And yes, he is an open Nazi, not unlike some of the people we've covered, like Steve Bannon on this show before, where they conveniently appear where the action is not.
Yeah, the guy that started the Proud Boys, I forget his name too. He's one of those types.
Tario?
No, that he's the one that's leading it now. But the guy that like started the group that went on, he was on Rogan at one point. I forget the fucking guy's name. But
The guy
whatever.
from Vice. The guy from
yes.
Yeah, the guy who started
You know who I'm
Vice,
talking
too.
about.
Yeah, we've covered him, and
Yeah.
you know what? It's a good thing we don't know his name. Let history. Actually, it's Gavin McGinnis.
There you go. Thank
there she
you.
is.
Yes, that guy is another fucking full-on Nazi.
Terrible fucking mustache too.
Yes.
Anyway, comedian Neil Brennan.
I love Neil Brennan.
There's an element here in the U.S. that is pushing for civil war. It's greater than we want to actually acknowledge, and we will have to reckon with it sooner than later.
I think
However,
you're right. That's a story for another day, but I think you're right.
Neil Brennan kind of encapsulates how it's largely gonna go.
Yeah, my problem with guns is I don't buy either side's arguments completely, right? So the conservative argument is that guns are written in the Constitution because the Founding Fathers thought if all the citizens have guns, then the government will have to do what they say or else the people will rise up and fight the government, right? Which is a legitimately great idea in the 1700s. But the problem is there's still people now hoarding weapons thinking that at some point they may need to take on the American military and they think they have a shot, right? And look, maybe they're right, which is why I'm proposing we test their theory and once a year have a head-to-head showdown. Say 100 members of the NRA versus, I don't know, 2 members of the military. Broadcasted on Fox, Christmas Day. Like, Merry Christmas and welcome to the 2022 NRA Military Showdown. Let's go down to the field of battle, meet one of our NRA combatants. Sir, what's your name? What kind of weapon do you work with? He's like, my name's Andy Baker, and I got an AR-15, wearing Kevlar head to toe. Andy, how confident are you, scale of 1 to 10? Fucking a million. We're gonna check in with the military real quick, and they cut to one guy by himself in a bunker, and he's like, my name's Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Walker. And they're like, Jeremiah, what kind of weapon do you work with? And he's like, look, I don't know if this is fair, but I'm working with a drone. Yeah, it's equipped with 8 Hellfire missiles and a high-powered camera. As you can see on this monitor here, the NRA fellas are actually in just one big cluster. So I'm gonna. We started. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna hit this button right here. Yeah. Now they're all dead. That'll do it for this year's NRA Military Showdown.
Oh man. The eternal
Brought
question.
to you by.
You support the blue.
Yeah.
Until they come asking for your guns because you're an insurrectionist. Anyway, that's a different topic. And I think Neil Brennan kind of covered that up. Let's move on to something lighter, shall we?
Okay.
I think the ferret story. Let's
Yes.
just kind of jump around. Oh, folks, we talk about animals all the time on the show.
Yes, we are a
What if
big
you-
fan.
And we should be. What if you made such a bond with a wild animal that this animal wanted to introduce you to their most important people?
Oh, all right. Let's see.
You're somebody who rescued a ferret.
Again. Oh, yeah, I'm in there. Yeah, okay, thank you. Look, I see them. I see them. You're so clever. I can't have this hand going as well because that has camera on it. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. Again. Oh, yeah, I'm in there.
That's great.
Yeah, okay, thank
That
you.
animal trusts that human enough to be like, hey, check it out. look, these are my kids. Check it out. This is
Yeah.
Henry. This is Gretchen. This is Ada. This is Ben. Right?
Yeah, that's super
Like,
cool.
come check this out. Check this out. Like, I trust you enough. I love that stuff. And it should be a reminder to everybody that we're not too far away from our animal friends.
Indeed.
This next story was sent to us by our good friend Ryan Hansen.
Okay, so
And go for it.
I might have to step out of the room for this
Why?
because I don't do well with X-rays and like violent, like awful X-rays. Right? I'll tell you a little story. So you may or may not remember that I was sucker punched in the face.
I do remember this.
Right?
I walked into the aftermath. I knew something was immediately amiss. Apparently,
Indeed, broke my orbital bone. It was fun.
you had surgery. It
was great. Had a great time. Had surgery to fix such an injury. Correct. And when afterwards, the few days after the surgery, I had to go in and get the stitches removed. I want to say maybe a week. And the doctor says to me, "Hey, did you want to see the X-rays of what your face looked like and what it looks like now?" And as I'm already not dealing great with the idea of these stitches being taken out of my head.
Okay.
And I don't do well with hospitals and doctors' offices to begin with. My blood pressure goes up. Yeah. I have that what they call white coat syndrome, where I get very uneasy. And then this gentleman shows me the X-ray of my face, and it's like a weird 3D X-ray, like a super fucking X-ray of my fucking skull.
Probably
and
a CT scan, a CAT scan.
I looked at the motherfucker and almost passed out. And I tried, and I remember I'm sitting there, right? And I didn't want to let the nurse who's pulling the things out of my head, right? And I didn't want to let the doctor know, but I was losing it. And I'm gripping onto I'm sitting on the whatever, the stool or whatever they call it, the exam table. And I'm gripping with I'm just like, if I can just grit my teeth through this, I'll be okay. And I got to the point where I was like, I eventually had to say to them, I think I need to lay down because I think I'm going to pass out.
Sure.
Please do. Don't do well. Gross. And I'm very scared. When I saw that Ryan Hansen sent this to us, my stomach already is queasy at the idea of what we're about to see. So I may have to turn away. I'm just saying I don't do well with this.
Do you want me to take control and then I can?
No, I'm a big boy. I'll do as best I can.
All right. Well, image number one's probably not going to help because.
An X-ray of a man who's armored through a meat grinder. Fuck off!
So,
what are we doing,
folks? Just a reminder. Do not ever stick your hand into a snowblower, a grass cutting machine. Until you're absolutely positively
God,
that is powered down. There's no chance that it turns on for whatever reason. That's a legit thing. Okay, X-ray number 2. Also, I've done some X-rays of people who have put things up their bum that somehow get sucked into their bum. Now, it should be any surprise.
My God.
Legitimately, folks, if you didn't know, your colon, your large intestine, is a negative pressure zone, meaning the muscles around your butthole, your sphincter, your rectum, are tight in order to keep a negative pressure that things are meant to be kept in.
Yes.
It takes a actual monumental force and effort to expel something from your colon, right? That's how you poop. So to put something up there.
That's how you poop.
That's how you poop. That's the thing, right? To put something up there and not have a way to retrieve it is a problem.
Yeah.
And this person thought, like, well, this dildo feels great in my bum, but oops, because I wasn't careful, it got sucked up there because of negative pressure zone. And then this person kind of doubled down on their efforts with a pair of salad tweezers to try to grab it. What I will point out, as an experienced radiographer, Ben, as you scroll up, please, is that little light. No, scroll up. Yeah, is that little light circle on the right-hand side?
Yes, right here.
Right. I'm not sure what that is, but as a skilled, experienced, and trained professional, will tell you that is in the person's stomach. And that is an absorbed object. I don't know if that's a battery. I don't know what that is, but it is a coin. There's a weird little circle inside the white circle there.
This dude's into some crazy shit, so.
All right. Well, this one I have no explanation for. I've never seen this before in my career. I've never seen a tib fib split like that at the ankle joint.
Oh, God. Oh, that's nauseating, dude.
I've never seen that before. This one's terrifying because it might look. It's gonna look weird to everybody who doesn't know what they're looking at.
God.
But those are feet, and those are feet that have been bound, and basically, that is what your foot would look like if it was bound and shaped in the form of a high heel. This one's not too uncommon. Sometimes when a piece of bone, they rot up the stronger bone. Although that person has issues in and of itself because their tibia, the bigger bone there of your lower leg, it looks really thin and weak in the first place. So this person has something else going on with them, other than the fact that they excised apparently some of the fibula, which is the smaller bone right there.
Jesus, there's a lot of dogs going on there.
That's a lot of babies right there. Legit.
Oh, God!
I
can't do that. See, this was the kind of this was this. I'm already I'm getting sweaty. This is
this
was how what they showed me that I passed out looking at.
Okay, we could scroll past there, but that is a CAT scan. What we would consider a CAT scan, we call CT, which stands for computed tomography, which can do 3-dimensional reconstructions of their scans, and that's what you're looking at.
Oh, dude,
Okay, we could roll right past that. Number 9 doesn't get any better. That is a very, very flexible person. That's all I'm going to say. Number 10 is that is what buckshot looks like.
Oh my God!
When you've been shot, that's what that dude that Dick Cheney shot in the face. Received a dose of. And props for whoever that x-ray tech is, because they provided what we call an AP or a frontal view and what we call a lateral or a side view.
Yes, I'm glad they did that for us.
It's important because that person has to go to surgery, and that surgeon needs to know how he approaches. Anyway, don't swallow SpongeBob toys.
What? Oh! What the fuck is that?
I've always been somebody who said, God damn it, why do we just get 2 sets of teeth when sharks get a new set of teeth every 6 months? What the fuck?
No.
We're somewhere between there with this particular person. You can also see with number 13, there's an extra tooth.
It's gross.
Which I can tell you right now, that's a very specific X-ray called a Panorex. It's a beautiful thing.
I could have done it with a lot more of these X-rays.
Oh, of the puppet. That's what a puppet looks like when
I'm much more okay with that.
Someone sneezing, which I'm gonna argue with right now because I don't know somebody who sneezes and doesn't move the rest of their head.
Yeah.
Now, if that, I'm being a technologist right now. If that person was talking, that's how their lower jaw would look like if they were going
Right.
But if they were sneezing, just imagine, just go through the physical motion of like how you particularly sneeze, like chew, right? Everything's in motion. Not this particular person's skull.
It's
so
weird.
I call bullshit. It's actually a beautiful skull X-ray. Not gonna lie, but I call bullshit on the fact that that's somebody sneezing. But we move on. You're not.
Oh, look at this! Oh,
yeah,
God.
Fireworks, folks. One of the most exciting times for an X-ray tech is the 4th of July and New Year's Eve. When people decide to I'm gonna light this firework in my hand.
I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
Attempt to throw it.
Oh God. Seriously, some of those were nauseating. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is about me, man.
Yeah, and you come to the ER, and the doctor's like, "Well, take this picture because we're gonna try to put this together again." Look, you are fucking stupid. Put it together again. Speaking of stupid, Ben.
Yeah. Speaking of stupid, yes. Are we going to this giant snake video? Another reason to be terrified of the fucking water.
Anything. I don't know how to make sense.
Yeah, they discovered a new species of snake, a giant green anaconda. Look at this terrifying fucking shit.
Ben, look at this unit.
Look at it in comparison to how big that human is. That's a human. Look at this fucking snake.
16 feet.
Look at this. Look at the head of that fucking snake. Just hanging out in the fucking water.
Oh, look, we've never seen this species before.
This is literally a new species, and it's ginormous.
Look at that fucking dude in a business
Fuck
shirt, too.
the water. That's basically all I need to know. That is beyond terrifying. Fuck.
I don't know. We're at 8:15. Holy
I know.
shit.
Yeah, we talked a lot. I ranted pretty good there.
Why did it have to be snakes? Okay, so we are going to jump to the lightning round, but first, we do the cute thing, we do the cute animal thing. We're not quite there, Ma Jordan. We are getting there. We like to palate cleanse and just show the cute animal things right before the lightning round. What I want to do is show the cute animal things in human form. And Ben,
it's not going to be the baby hippo and the crocodile. Okay,
it's not. It's going to be the goalies.
Oh, okay.
Ben, there is apparently a 5-on-5 goalie hockey tournament that exists.
That's great.
Which is just all goalies all the time.
And that's got to be exhausting for these guys. They skate around with all that fucking gear.
It's fun. And they have goalie sticks, which are not usual hockey.
That's a great idea, though. I love that idea. Just something different.
This should be part of the NHL All-Star Game festivity.
That would be great if they got all the goalie, like a 5-on-5, just
goalie.
The goalies out there playing goalie hockey. That would be cool.
Everybody shooting, passing, running around and pass.
That's awesome. My favorite fights have always been goalie fights. That's always the highlight of hockey fights is when you get two goalies to throw down. And there have been a couple of really fucking bangers.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of bangers. Headbangers.
gonna find the links. I don't know. Holy shit, folks! I may be very.
Are you unprepared for the lightning round?
All of a sudden, my links are gone.
Fantastic.
I'm not even kidding about this. Holy shit. Okay, wait. I have a cachet. And I'm gonna just do the last 3. This is it. This will legitimately go down as the craziest lightning round of all time. Welcome to the world's most famous episode in the show, the lightning round. It's where the Thunderdome comes alive, and the bolts are already there, the expectations are already there, and I failed to provide a content in an appropriate way. So, this is going to be fun. I don't know what's happening.
So you literally lost. Just so we're clear, you had 3 stories ready, and the links have just disappeared.
No, I don't know that I had 3 stories ready.
So you just forgot to prepare for the lightning round, is what you're saying.
I may have done that.
That's amazing. Awesome.
I may have done that.
I just wanted to call that out, just to make sure I understood that properly.
Without dilly or dally, headline number 1. Chernobyl's mutant wolves appear to have developed resistance to cancer.
Jesus, mutant wolves, fuck me.
Headline number 2. Exploiting... hold on. Exploding toilet at Dunkin's store in Florida left a customer filthy and injured.
Duncan. Gigi doesn't even have to hear the other story. She's already got her vote in.
So if it's about poop, she usually, yeah.
All right.
And headline number 3. Mouse secretly filmed tidying man's shed every night.
Wait. I don't know that my brain fully wrapped around that last one there.
I will read it again, but I will read all 3 again.
Yes, please do.
Headline number 1. Chernobyl's mutant wolves appear to have developed resistance to cancer. Headline number 2. Billy Wax onto it. Although, honestly, this is so random. Like,
this was literally on the fly.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So was this person. Exploding toilet at Dunkin' store in Florida left a customer filthy and injured.
Yeah, that's, man. How do you not
Headline
do
number 3. Mouse secretly filmed tidying man's shed every night.
The mouse filmed, is it tidying or tidy?
Tidying, like cleaning.
Interesting.
Tidying up.
Yeah, Adrian wants nothing to do with mice. She is deathly afraid of those things. So
don't worry about don't come.
All right, alternate headlines: Cancer dog, new kind of Dunkin' Donut, and mouse maid.
Mouse maid.
Wow, actually, after last week when it was almost a clean sweep and we actually had to have just one person vote outside the norm to try to break it up, we've already got across the board some different votes. And Chris wants number 1.
2. Yes, we count every vote. Imagine that.
3. The Australian guy is going to vote for number 3. He comes out of nowhere and shows up every once.
That's my guy, though. To be honest,
he just shows up for the lightning round. I love him.
Just show up to vote. That's all you gotta do, folks. Just show up to vote.
Yeah.
Adrian's got a vote counted.
Dad,
Ma Jordan coming in with a vote.
Chernobyl Dogs. Chernobyl Dogs is a metal band from the late 80s that are really, really good.
That's like so Kevin Smith Clerks. This is my friend, my cousin from Russia. Like,
yes, he's part of Chernobyl. Yes.
And where
would you like to suck my cock bear's dick?
We have a vote for number 1. Ben, I think we have Chernobyl Dogs. That'll be Devil
3 because this mouse rules, but I really want to see Duncan, dude.
We're kind of at a.
Do we have like a tie?
No, we don't have a tie, but I don't think we have everybody voting. But we are running late, and we should.
Yeah, I think we're at the close voting now, and just go with.
we should give everybody their time back. And you voted and you've spoken, and headline number 3 wins.
Oh, let's find out about mouse.
I'm going to
mouse taping a guy.
Go ahead and send Ben the link.
Adrian is mad as fuck downstairs.
I'm sure she is. I'm sorry, Adrian, but democracy works like that. I'm going to send Ben the link so that you can all see it, but I'm going to read you the story. And that is from our friends at The Guardian. Photographer who noticed his items were mysteriously moving around discovered an industrious rodent who was organizing his workbench. A mouse has been filmed secretly tidied up a man's shed almost every night for 2 months. Wildlife photographer Rodney Holbrook noticed that his objects that he left out of place were mysteriously being put back where they belonged overnight. Holbrook from Bulios, Wells, and Powell's, Wales, set up a night vision camera on his workbench to find out what was happening and captured footage reminiscent of a 2007 animated movie Ratatouille. Ratatouille, thank you. Yeah, I'm way into.
I've never seen it, but I've heard the phrase. I've heard the title before. That's the only way I know.
It's a dish too from.
Correct.
It's a dish from what I understand, Ben. This is Gilbert Godfrey.
Dude, this mouse is this is crazy. Like, I guess obviously it's like nesting or some shit, right? Like it's not. It doesn't understand that it's.
But
actually
I got the
putting shit
routine.
away.
Holbrook 75 told the BBC, "It's been going on for months. I call him Welsh Tidy Mouse. At first, I noticed some food I was putting out for the birds was ending up in some old shoes I was storing in the shed. So I set up a camera. Night vision footage showed the seemingly conscientious rodent gathering clothes, pegs, corks, nuts, and bolts and placing them in a tray on Holbrook's workbench. Holbrook even experimented with leaving out different objects to see if the mouse could lift them. But the creature was undeterred and was even carrying cable ties to the pot."
You know, Adrian is always bugging me about like getting a cow or a goat or something along those lines. And I'm always, saying no to those things, right? But I would say yes to a mouse that would clean up our house while we slept.
That would tidy up?
A tidy up mouse.
This is Holbrook. He said, "I couldn't believe it when I saw the mouse was tidying up. He moved all sorts of things into the box. Bits of plastic, nuts, and bolts. I don't bother to tidy up now as I know he'll see to do it."
See? He's a good boy.
I leave things out of the box and he will put them back in its place in the morning. And 99 times out of 100, the mouse will tidy up throughout the night.
Listen, I have a 4-year-old going on 5-year-old who destroys the house on a daily basis, and he does not tidy up after himself.
Hey, fuck your Roomba.
This mouse could be very helpful.
Mouse
is all I'm saying.
You need a fucking Tom, right? Because Jerry was a mouse. Tomcat.
Can you train a goat to tidy up?
And jump
just
around
saying,
and be all
if Adrian's looking for a way in, this might be the way.
The difference between a mouse and a goat, we have to work on the evolutionary gap there. But Ben, I'm sure between GoFundMe and other various things which we'll set up, because all of that money will not go to vacations in the Dominican Republic.
No,
they will absolutely go to research.
We'll do our own stock buybacks.
That will benefit mankind.
No, it'll benefit me.
After we've taken 95% of all that. Welcome to the Topic Thunder, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I forgot to change the background on this one. This is still the Valentine's Day one.
It actually sounds, it's almost like the Canadian red and white too. So, folks, if you're paying attention to this part of the show, we extend our deepest gratitude because you're the lifeblood. You guys make this show happen. Despite how many revolutions I've had, I will always appreciate everything, and I know Ben does too.
Absolutely.
Topic Thunder. You guys are the world's most dangerous chat zone. We call you the Thunderdome for a reason, and we do this every Wednesday night. So, from the deck of the USS Rapapa. Again, I'm Captain Brooks, that's Captain Ben. And folks, March 10th, you gotta come out and see some super wrestlers. You're gonna start